Hello and welcome to the Greater Reston Living Podcast, where we cover everything happening in Reston and Herndon. And today on the podcast, we've got 57 new townhomes proposed for the Old Bowman Manor property. And the question we're asking is, are they going to retain the elegance of the historic Wheelie town? You know, the town that was there before Reston was Reston. So that's our big topic today. We're going to show you the renderings. We're going to show you what the look and feel is of this new neighborhood that's proposed, and we'll get all into that. But first, we got to cover a couple of things that are happening around here. First of all, Kathy, we just discovered a new hike, the Colvin Run hike, I'm calling it.
Rails to Trails.
No, not Rails to Trails. Rails to River Trail.
Okay.
I kept wanting to say Rails to Trails also.
I was close.
The Rails to River Trail that we, did a video on. If people haven't seen it, they can go out to Instagram or YouTube Shorts or wherever you're watching your short videos. And we did the hike. When was this? Saturday that we went last week?
Yes.
Okay. And, we said in the video, we often are there on the weekends saying, okay,
when we're not running around showing houses, but yeah, we'll be sitting there and it's like, dude, we got to get outside. Let's find a new hike.
We have a free weekend afternoon. Yeah. So I was digging around and I said, okay, we got to go somewhere. I'm tired of just looping around and whatever, let's get somewhere. So we looked at the map and said, hey, what if we left from Lake Fairfax and went out to, the edge of Great Falls where Colvin Run Mill is. And that's what we did. Kathy, what did you think of the hike? Was it worth it?
Loved it. It was pretty flat. I had no idea what to expect. It was a quiet hike, so not a lot of people hiking along it, but we did run into some mountain bikers, so just be on the lookout, for the bikes whizzing by you. It was super sweet to see the creek and the babbling brook and crossing and having a really fun destination with a lot of history. And what I loved was going into the general store and meeting the two ladies that volunteer there, and they were just a wealth of information.
Right. So stay tuned. We've got actually another video coming soon about the mill itself. Stay tuned for that. But, one of the things I also was struck by was the how much improvement they did along Route 7 there. I knew that they were doing the Route 7 bike paths that are there on either side. Those have been opened up for a while now, but I hadn't been to this section in a long time. And they had that underpass. They had the crosswalk way to get across Route 7. But if you didn't want to do that, you could go around another 0.2 or so of a mile and kind of, just walk under Route 7.
It's a little bridge and you'll find your way. Just keep on going. And it's a lot less dangerous than crossing Route 7. I'll tell you that. Route 7 crossing there is a little scary.
Yeah. But if you're going to the mill, it takes you just, slightly out of the way, but maybe it's easier. But it was a good hike for kids, 2.5 miles out and back kind of thing. Flat, like you said, and babbling brook, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So
the good thing is when you get to the mill, there's bathrooms. Hopefully the general store is open. You can pick up a candy stick and fill up your water bottle. And they do have a picnic area as well. So if you wanted to do, hike there, walk there and have a picnic and then go back. So
yeah, good spot for an out and back because you have a little break there. Mother's Day is coming up, Kathy.
Yes,
and I know you as a mother, you don't always like the cliche things, right? You're always looking for something different.
I don't.
Or you're hoping for something different.
I enjoy, I don't need a lot in my life. I want experiences. I want to be with the kids, but our kids are not in the area right now. So I'm just looking for something new, something different. Like flowers die. I mean, I love flowers, but, they're pretty, but what else is there? And how can you treat mom?
Yeah. So we had some, what are some ideas? We had some out there on our latest Instagram just yesterday or the day before with places, treats, things that you can do
Kind of thinking
around
a little bit
Reston and
out of the
Herndon.
box,
Yeah.
something different and supporting little small mom and pops, small businesses in the area that we have visited. And, we always love to give them a shout out. So, Chibu, the macarons, like Chelsea has the most adorable, Mother's Day. You could do a 4-pack, you can get more. She does sell them singleton. So, it's definitely
Mm-hmm.
moms, you're going to love it. The
Of course, there's, go
Nordic
ahead.
Knot,
Yeah.
which, and I just went to their page and they have a Mother's Day thing where it's like a bouquet of pretzels, like on sticks. So
Okay.
that
That's
could be
cool.
super fun. It's kind of a bouquet of pretzels.
Mm-hmm. And then, places like Dano's for granola, things like River Sea Chocolate, right? Other small business. It's also Small Business Month, I think.
That it is. It is.
It's also Bike Month, isn't it? A bunch of months right now?
Yeah. Bike to work, bike to school, get outside, enjoy the weather.
It's a bunch of different months in the month of May, apparently. So some cool stuff. And then we had some ideas, like going on hikes, like the hike that we had, going to picnic in different areas around Reston and Herndon. So
taking a class at Potter's Union, go to Beloved Yoga, do some parkour or hula hooping at Mind Shift.
Yeah.
And let's not forget that every Mother's Day, their Potomac Runners has a 4-mile run. So get out there, exercise with mom.
That's at Browns Chapel Park. Is that where it starts, I think?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
We can link it.
Okay. Well, or people can sign up for our newsletter. That's where they'll get all of this
Well, that's true, too.
So,
we have a lot of good information in there. So
there you go.
Go out and spoil your mom.
Right.
Graham, bring me some treats.
So, okay. You're not my mother.
Well,
I always tell you, you're not my mother.
In lieu of the kids being home, treat me good.
All right. I'll celebrate you as a mother, not my mother. Okay. There you go. But speaking of May and being a busy month, there are lots of events. We went through some of them last week, but one of the biggest annual events in May, this is coming up, not this weekend, but the following is the big art festival, right? The Tefra ICA Arts Festival.
We love it. We try to go every year. It's May 16th and 17th. So Saturday and Sunday, and it's the 35th anniversary.
Yeah. So this is one of those events. It's so big that it's definitely more than just Restonians coming out to the arts festival. This is one that draws a crowd from all around the entire greater Reston area, and maybe even people coming in from Loudoun, wherever, right? Because
people come from New York, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, like they're all over. Over the past couple of years, I've got to talk with a lot of the artists, and now I follow them along on Instagram. So I'm hoping to see them again, and when they're displaying their art, if they're going to participate this year.
I think you were always, what kind of art did you say you liked last time? It was like this photorealistic stuff.
Yeah. So I can't remember his name, but he paints things from our childhood, like rubber duckies or dum-dum lollipops or a bag of Cheetos. So they're very vibrant. They're very fun, but I love them all. Somebody does where they photograph lightning bugs in the middle of, the woods or in a marsh. So they're fun too. So I kind of enjoy it all.
Right. That's a good one that's coming up. So people better be marking their calendar.
Wait a minute. Yeah. So, but it's not just the art. So there are other things going on during the art festival. They're going to have live glass blowing. There's going to be some dancing, some dance theater programs, like they're going to be performing, and some artist demonstrations happening live, which include basket making, jewelry through philosophical design, multicolor relief printing, and glass lace making. So just a couple of things that are kind of different that you can go and see.
Nice. Okay. Somehow I always miss those things, but yeah, they're probably off to the side or what have you. But yeah, look for them.
Yeah.
And this last story, before we get into our big story around the Bowman Manor townhomes, was a surprise to me because there were rumors floating around. Maybe these rumors were completely unfounded, or maybe something's changed. But then we saw Davio's at Reston Station. For those who don't know, that's a steakhouse, Italian steakhouse over at Reston Station, right near. They were one of the first major restaurants other than Founding Farmers over there. And they announced that they were going to take over the Plaza Bar that used to be Matchbox.
Outside part of Matchbox.
Right, right. And so it turns out that they're not actually closing like people were surmising or conjecturing, and they actually are expanding. Now, I did confirm, because I reached out to them, that the Matchbox itself they're not taking over that space. So only the outdoor plaza part, which, if you ever go there for this Reston Station Summerbration concerts.
They're on Friday nights.
Friday night concerts over there. That's one of the best spots to see them. You can actually see the stage, chill out at the bar, hear the music and that kind of thing. So that was a good one. And I did learn that Matchbox itself is most likely converting over to office space rather than new restaurant. So more restaurants to come in other parts of Reston Station. You know, for example, we're still waiting for Ebbett Grill to open maybe later this year too. So there's plenty going on over there now. All right. Is that it with our bits and bites, Kathy?
Yeah.
A lot going on. I don't want to miss anything.
There's so much going on. We're just trying to keep up with it all.
I hear you. And if people want to keep up with it all, and they don't always want to tune into the podcast, they got to subscribe to the newsletter. I'll plug it again.
Truth.
Okay. There you go. And so let's get into it now. We teased it at the opening. There are 57 new townhomes being proposed. And we covered this actually last year, Kathy.
Last July.
In a video about the old Bowman Manor property. Mm-hmm. And I want to make sure people know where we're talking about. So I want to first take a look at the map, because when people hear Bowman, they're probably thinking about the Bowman Distillery.
We did a video on that as well, but that's such a small area. No way you can fit 57 homes on that. So this is across the street.
Yes. So here we are, map of Reston, the core of Reston here, Reston Town Center at least. And then you can see the Hidden Creek Golf Course over there. This is the Bowman Historic Region, I'm going to call it, on Old Reston Avenue. And all these little things are popping up. It's annoying. But this property right here. So let's zoom in just so folks can see it on the satellite. So the Sunset Station townhomes, they're being developed in this area right here.
American Dream Way.
On American Dream Way. Mm-hmm. And then here's the Bowman Distillery, which, Kathy, by the way, is that place still up for sale? It went up for sale a couple of months ago. What's going on with that? It did.
So it still is at $2.5 million, and it's been on the market for 82 days. So,
yeah,
not surprising, but still it'd be interesting to see what happens with that.
Yeah, that's a tough one because we talked about that before. It's kind of not, it's in bad shape, and yet you need to keep it in historic preservation mode.
It needs to be preserved, but it's more the parking. There's no parking. So it's, you have to be thoughtful about what you're going to do with the property. And then you need to put a lot of money in to renovate it and keep the, preserve it.
Right. Well, okay. So this is the area, now that we're zoomed in, this area right here is the property that we're talking about that's going to be redeveloped. And I'll show you some of the renderings, what it's supposed to look like. But this is the property where, in the center of it, this is, if you're driving along Old Reston Avenue, there's sort of a wall over here. It's kind of hidden behind a few trees. It's very unassuming. You'll drive right by and not even notice it. But there are a couple of office buildings on this property, and they're looking to be removed and replaced with a townhome community. Now, the good news is the manor itself, so the old Bowman
It's a
Manor.
3-story stone manor house built in 1899 by A. Smith Bowman that's going to be preserved. And I love it when they preserve those things. So,
Yeah. Well, it's 127-year-old building, right? Which is ancient in our country, but maybe not for other countries, right? But that's
yeah,
pretty historic for as things go around here.
it's a
And
cool building and they're trying to keep the same look, but we'll talk about that.
yeah, so that's cool. So anyway, so they're going to redevelop this area. So I want to take a look at that for folks. So let's see what it's going to look like. This is an aerial view on a blog post that we did a while back on this. So you can see this is the historic home itself. It is being used as office space right now by the AMA, the name of the Armed Forces, the Armed Forces Mutual Association Mortgage Services. So that's who owns the property now, and they entered into a joint development program with EYA Townhomes. So they'll be building the townhomes all around and removing these two office buildings here. So let's take a look at some of the renderings. Building is cool, Kathy.
It is a cool building.
Here's an aerial view rendering of the property, right? Same kind of orientation as the map that I showed. You can see what's this?
You can't really tell, but the townhomes are going to be 4 stories up. It's going to be like 55 feet tall and minimum of 3 bedrooms in the townhomes.
Right. And you can see that the manor home still remains in the center, and that's a requirement of the development. It won't move forward without that. It's a historic landmarks or at least on the historic places.
Yeah, they say
Fairfax
it has
County.
Real legal protection.
Yeah. And they are making a nice little green park area in between with trees and everything and a staircase. Maybe we'll be able to see that on another rendering in a second. The staircase going down and just really kind of honor the way that looks, at least once you get into the community itself. You'll also be able to see it still from Old Reston Avenue over here on the side. And to orient everybody where we are, this is American Dream Way. So the Sunset Station Plaza is over there. This is the Bowman Distillery here. And then you can see the Stratford condominiums over here in this section closer to Reston Town Center across the street here. So these folks, the selling point for them is not only going to be, modern new construction townhomes, but also proximity to Reston Town Center, to the metros, to the W&OD Trail down here. So it's a great location to live. The question is, how do current Restonians feel about it? So I'm sure we'll learn in the comments. What do you think of the plan, Kathy?
I think it's nice. I'm going to love the look of the townhomes if they're going to be, it looks just like the manor house.
Yeah.
That'll be nice. It'll be different. It's way better than, apartment complexes. It's going to be quiet and bring more homes that are much needed in the Reston area.
Right. So, clearly these are new construction townhomes. New construction is what it is, modern, but they are making it a little more elegant, I would say, right? In concert with the Bowman Manor itself, and harkens back to the old Wheelie Township before Reston became Reston, right? You can see this is more of that center promenade with the staircase leading to the manor in between. So this is in this area.
I like that.
It's kind of nice. And then these are the, treatment, like they're showing the different ways in which they would have these more like elegant staircase or grand stairs, as they call them. Some different ideas around how they would do that. So you're getting a sense as to it's a little more like English manor, English cottage kind of a thing. And it's certainly not the mid-century modern sort of thing. But, and even the gardening and landscaping is more of that, cottage style, English manor style out there. Here's other options that they have for different parts of the property as well. So, I mean, I like it. I think it's kind of cool. Let me see if I can find some other pictures for the elevation here. I thought this was kind of cool to see, like the elevation of the whole property. So you'd see that the manor house is on the highest part of the property. So you'd be able to see it from Old Reston Avenue. And then, it starts sloping downward until you get into the W&OD Trail area. And there's a pond over here as well that's really kind of nice right now, too.
It is really nice because they have a gazebo there too, which is super sweet.
Yeah. One other part. Let's get to if I can find the actual elevations of the townhomes themselves. Here we go. So you can see the side view of an end unit, the front view, and, just more details and things than you see in some of the trim and accent pieces around. Still modern, of course, but a little bit different than.
Let me ask you this question, because I'm looking at the rendering of what the townhomes look like. Do you know how many they're going to have in a row? So how many, end units might there be?
Let's look at that again here. So end unit wise, looks like we've got a couple of different size rows here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 end units about, if I'm doing it right. So, not too bad. People get more light on those end units, that's for sure. It looks like there's a commitment to, having trees in between and amongst, which is good to see, because that's not happening in all of the new construction townhome areas. They're pretty much just raising everything down, and it's basically a deserted landscape with townhomes popping up off of a concrete jungle. So there's more greenery and things, and that's more in concert with the Old Reston, right? Is that the townhomes have weaved in between all of the landscape rather than just raising the ground, like I said, some of these other areas. So
the project is small, but a real example of Reston doing what Reston was originally designed to do: mixed housing types, respect history, and build communities rather than just buildings.
Yeah. So, okay, sounds like you and I like what we're seeing there at this development compared to maybe a few others. I'd be curious what our audience thinks about this, right?
And I think the next hearing is July 14th.
Yes, so
where the board is going to approve the project site plans. They're going to review them. And I guess if that happens, then, typically it's 18 to 36 months, for them to see actual homes.
Right. So I think that, yes, we're going to start to see some movement then. My guess is this passes, and then we're going to start to see, activity there, clearing the land, things like that in the next year or so. And yeah, probably, I can't imagine there's going to be townhomes there for at least 2 years. They have to demolish things first.
Yeah.
So probably
and
it's
make sure the traffic works, because everybody's concerned about the traffic.
That is one thing I wanted to mention, because when you come down Old Reston Avenue toward the W&OD, that's sort of a treacherous little spot right now. And if you think about more people coming up Old Reston Avenue to get into the Sunset Station neighborhood, and now into the Bowman neighborhood, which doesn't have a name, we're just calling it the Bowman neighborhood. I don't know, that could be a problem in that particular area, because already people come screaming down, and then bikers are coming across the W&OD. So something to look out for. Hopefully they can do some kind of a traffic control mechanism there to keep things a little bit less dicey, right? All right. With that, anything else you wanted to add, Kathy?
I think we've covered a lot this week. So
there you go.
Looking forward to seeing what happens in the next week and sharing that with you.
Yep. All right. So Reston, sign up for the newsletter. Hit subscribe, like on this video. Let us know what you think. Is this development something is in keeping with Reston's values, or would you like to see something different? Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down on that, or at least
do you
comment.
like it?
Give the video a thumbs up. Let us know what you think, though, one way or another in the comments. And with that, we'll see you, Reston.